questions that we can answer. Should it be solo or guest interviews or a mix of both? How do you get started? Video only or audio only or live? Do we do it live or closed? What platform should I use to record it on? Should I use Zoom or LinkedIn Live? How to get it out there on the directories? What equipment do you need? Microphone, the interface that is between you and the microphone that doesn't go straight into your laptop. Lights. I've got a flip chart behind me for notes, which is fine. And how to edit. Welcome to Micropreneur Accelerator. I'm the Micropreneur Accelerator. My name is Nina Sunday. And today I get asked all the time, why did you start a podcast? How do you start a podcast? So let's get started on that topic. It'll be over a couple of episodes. And the first question is, how can a podcast benefit your business? So let me count the ways. I have a big thank you to Chair of the C-Suite Network, Jeffrey Hazlett, because in 2018, I attended his podcasting presentation workshop at the National Speakers Association convention in in Dallas, USA, and then the following year in Denver, 2019. So it wasn't until 2020 that I actually started my podcast, but I was sort of lurking podcasting meetups and reading about it and having little practices for a couple of years before that. But podcasting does help your brand. It helps you reach new potential customers and clients, and it certainly gives you plenty to talk about in social media because it amplifies your executive presence. And it can be produced with very little cost. It's just a little bit of time investment. And over time, you systematize things. So it's really a minimal amount of time. My main podcast is Manage Self-Lead Others. It's now at episode 130. I suggest you go and have a look at it. This is my solo podcast, short 10-minute episodes. So this is my second podcast, really, because I want to send the elevator back down and start a mastermind group. And also, we're about to launch a podcasting coaching group. So more about that at the end of this episode, because proposals live and die by the video that you can include. So if I can include a link to a YouTube video, suddenly my proposal stands out head and shoulders above perhaps the others that are just all text and images. So it can increase website traffic. So if you have a podcast page on your own website, and if you send traffic, you can send traffic to that website. So I've got a podcast page on ninasunday.com, but my main training website is brainpowertraining.com.au. It can put you in the running for awards, press articles, collaborations, networking with experts you might otherwise never meet. I now have a network that's global as a result of the episodes that I've recorded with many of the authors that have got a new book and they're looking for opportunities to get their message out. So one of the attributes, I suppose, of having a podcast is it gives you credibility. People hear your voice, they see your image, they get to know how you think, and they get to know, like, and trust you. The other thing is it gives you self-belief, self-credibility. Self-credibility is important because I found a little notebook in 2017 by Seth Godin about Ship It and about the importance of doing creative work and shipping it, getting it out there. And it would said, why would you not ship it? And I wrote down, this is some time later I came across it. I wrote down, people might laugh at me. I might not be good. That was my fear, is that I wouldn't be good at doing it. And you know what? I feel confident now. Manage Self-Lead Others as author author managers find me as an opportunity for authors to launch their book. So I'm doing something right. So go and have a look at Manage Self Lead Others. So I got over my imposter syndrome. It's very good for branding and it's very good for marketing. So I can take snippets from my podcast and use them in my marketing and in my proposals. The other thing is I'm not afraid of video anymore. I've really learned some skills about it's so easy. My studio is set up. It's so easy for me to just zip in and switch it on and I can do a quick video. And I've started sending out video messages as well, just 1 minute or 2 minute video messages to my clients just to stay in touch. Now, I do want to share some quotes from Seth Godin's book, The Practice, which I've got about a dozen books of Seth Godin. He wrote Permission Marketing and Purple Cow and all these amazing books. And a recent book of his is called The Practice. It's also the practice of doing creative work. And I'm going to read out some of my favorite quotes from there. It's like, the work is why you are here. You are born to do this work. The practice will take you where you seek to go better than any other path. Do you know, that little quote comes into my head from time to time. It's like, I'm seeking this, but I go, just keep doing the practice and it will find you. Your work is too important to be left to how you feel today. Waiting for a feeling is a luxury we don't have time for. I go, I've got the time. I don't know if I feel like I'm in the flow, but I'm going to switch on the video and do it anyway. And you know what I find? After about 3 minutes, the flow arrives. So let me ask you a question. Do you ever wish you could be part of an uplifting and inspiring community of practice that will support your evolution and growth? And if so, I invite you to join my community of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs becoming micropreneurs, and to scale and grow into being a true entrepreneur. And starting soon is group coaching in podcasting, on starting your own podcast and growing it. And it's an exclusive opportunity to receive group coaching with me twice a month on live calls. And depending on who's joining, we can do it in times that match the Australian time zone, and we can do it at times that match the global time zone, the US time zone or the UK time zone. Just depends on who comes on board. And in fact, we might have multiple groups, because I guess there's a certain number that is ideal for coaching. And if it grows, then we can have two time zones going. Now, have you got an idea for a podcast? I meet people all the time that say, I don't know how to start. I've got this idea. Check out my podcast, Manage Self Lead Others, now at episode 131. It's on YouTube, /@ Manage Self Lead Others podcast. It's on C-Suite Radio. It's on Apple Podcast. In fact, if you just Google podcasts, or if you go to your podcasts app, it will be it's on virtually all the directories and all the apps, and there will be a link in the show notes to all the different links you can find. Now, questions that we can answer in a podcasting coaching group would be: should it be solo or guest interviews or a mix of both? How do you get started? Video only or audio only, or live? Do we do it live or closed? What platform should I use to record it on? Should I use Zoom or LinkedIn Live? How to get it out there on the directories? What equipment do you need? Microphone, the interface that is between you and the microphone that doesn't go straight into your laptop. Lights. I've got a flip chart behind me for notes, which is fine, and how to edit. And in closing, my platform is C-Suite Radio, but there are many other entry-level platforms out there, and connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. And that way, ask for my calendar for a 15-minute discovery session, a 15-minute get to know. Let's work out whether the Micropreneur Accelerator podcasting coaching group is for you. And during that meeting, you can tell me your idea. My links are in the show notes, and you can get me on LinkedIn or Facebook. And if you do listen to Manage Self, Lead Others on Apple Podcasts, I have a favor, please. Could you please rate it 5 stars and add a comment? And I'd appreciate it similarly if you would go look for Micropreneur Accelerator on Apple Podcasts. Spotify allows you to do a rating. I think Audible as well, but only Apple Podcasts allows you to do a rating with a comment. So if you can rate it, please, because that way it gets the message out. If you think this is a great podcast and you listen to this or Manage Self, Lead Others, tell the world by just adding a rating and a positive comment. I'd appreciate that. So join my podcasting coaching group, schedule your complimentary 15-minute conversation, and until next time, bye for now.